Guys, welcome to the Insights and Innovation series for this special Tuesday, where we're going to be talking to StackAdapt, our very, very good partners who do a lot of things to help the indies and had quite a few special nights out with them out in Cairns, responsible for a couple of hangovers. I would like to introduce Chrisanne and Louise. They're going to talk you through advertising trends that will shape the growth in 2023. This is a big topic to talk about. We've got 35 minutes to discuss it. Really interesting to see what we're going to cover and how we're going to do it. It's going to be recorded. If anyone's missed it, we can share it, and they can also answer questions. Just put it in the chat feature as we go, and we'll also, if that's okay, guys, share the deck as well in the next newsletter for you guys as well, if you need to share it with any of your clients as well. But without further ado, I'll hand over to Louise and Chrisanne to take over. Over to you guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate the intro and the IMAA. We'll keep those canned stories under wraps, I think. Hey, everyone. Appreciate you all joining us today. We're super excited to welcome you all to our first webinar of the year. Now, a lot has changed in the advertising industry in recent years, and with 2023 well underway, it brings in even more exciting changes. So we're here to talk to you today about advertising trends that will shape growth in 2023. So first things first, let's take a moment to properly introduce ourselves. My name is Christian Lyle, and I'm the ANZ Sales Director at StackAdapt. I've been with StackAdapt for 18 months or so and have truly enjoyed every minute of it, working with some of the most talented sales managers in market and fostering strong relationships with our clients. Now I'll let the lady to my left introduce herself.
Perfect, thanks, Krish. I'm Louise, or Lou Hutley. I'm the Senior Manager of Client Services here at StackAdapt. I've been with StackAdapt since April last year, so just over a year, and I work with our talented team of account managers and programmatic strategists to bring campaigns to life.
Awesome. So if this is your first webinar with us or you're unfamiliar with StackAdapt, let's just take a moment as well to learn a bit more about us. So StackAdapt is a multi-channel programmatic DSP used by the most exceptional digital marketers. Our platform allows ad buyers to plan, execute, and manage data-driven advertising campaigns across all devices, leveraging proprietary data, inventory, and publisher partners, all while providing a cutting-edge user experience. So in short, StackAdapt is the highest performing and easiest to use DSP around, as ranked by our users on G2. Now I'll let Lou do a little bit of a run through of today's agenda.
Perfect, thank you. So for today's agenda, we're going to start off by setting the stage for 2023. Then we're going to move on to some advertising trends to pay attention to, followed by some channels to watch, and then closing off with how to diversify using those channels. There will be time for Q&A at the end, but please feel free to interrupt us or drop questions into the chat box as we go. So the first section will be setting the stage for 2023. And over the next few slides, we're going to cover some of the biggest projected trends for the year and recap some of the biggest headlines we saw from the year prior. And we felt the best place would be the topic of uncertainty because there's a lot of it. Whether it's a shift in economic markets, the removal of third-party cookies, or incoming legislative changes, our industry is dealing with a number of factors outside of its control. However, 2023 is presenting itself a huge opportunity in that buyers are becoming more conscious about the brands that they are consuming. Based on global research by Innova, 66% of customers have stopped buying from a company whose values didn't align to theirs, with 88% of customers saying they expect to see brands demonstrate clear and strong values. As everybody here is primarily working on the advertising side, the emphasis should be on delivering value to our buyers, always on, friction-free in the places where they want to consume it. And the data backs this up. In fact, 93% of high-performing marketers say their external messaging reflects their corporate values, compared to 70% of those underperforming competition. This, combined with a projected spend for digital advertising, we're likely to see a lot more brands, hopefully, showing way more personality this year. So how big is the Australian market? So over the past few years, despite global challenges, in Australia, we saw digital ad spend increase 25% and 16% in 2021 and 2022, respectively. And this growth is predicted to continue by 8.3% in 2023, slightly below global average of 10.5%, but reaching a total of 10.52 billion in 2023, which is huge. Whilst growth has comparatively slowed, it's important to put this into context, as in 2023, for the first time ever, digital is expected to represent 71% of all advertising spend as we continue to see channels digitize, increasing capability for targeting, personalization, and measurement. And it's unlikely to surprise anyone on this call, but the biggest declines are expected to stem from newspapers and magazines at 5.5% and 6% respectively, meaning that they will represent just 4% of total ad spend in 2023. Further suggesting some general economic strength, 4 categories, pharma, restaurants, apparel and accessories, and travel, experienced their best October in 2022 for ad spending since 2017. And it's been positive to see categories such as travel and leisure return to full strength after the challenges brought by COVID after the past couple of years. And to set the stage for some of what we will cover later in this webinar, we wanted to share year-on-year predicted ad spend by format or medium, and specifically point to channels expecting continued growth, including audio and video, as we see these channels increasingly digitized, with investment rising specifically across CTV formats as that inventory continues to become higher volume and more accessible to advertisers. So what does this mean for marketers? Please jump into the question box if you feel like we're way off here or would like to add anything that you guys are specifically focusing on outside of this. But based on IAB's most recent publication and our conversations with clients across the year, doing more with less, automating the low value work, and finding better ways to measure success in light of reduced tracking will be key. And additional to this, as we continue to prepare for the cookieless future, developing and maintaining first-party data that can be leveraged to better understand our customers, strengthen accuracy of targeted ads, will help ensure that we have a future-proof strategy and can continue to provide a personalized customer experience that is rewarding for consumers and for brands.
Awesome, thank you. So let's just jump into some of the advertising trends that we expect to see this year. So let's start out with talking about privacy. Now, privacy in 2023 is a little bit more than just a buzzword. It is, or at least it should be, an expected part of your planning and execution strategy moving forward. We know the loss of third-party cookies continues to get pushed back, but this doesn't mean that businesses shouldn't prioritize first-party data strategies right now. Having a strong first-party strategy can be extremely helpful for social marketing, ad journey customization, and reaching your customers more efficiently, especially after the loss of third-party cookies when that does eventually happen. We expect by the end of 2024, 75% of the world population will live in a region where their personal data is protected under some form of modern privacy regulations. Good news for the user, bit of a challenge for the advertiser. With already 63% of Aussies nervous about sharing personal information with online companies, more regions will enact these laws over the next few years. So my question to you is, do you have a plan in place to ensure you can reach your customers and be respectful of their privacy? So as marketers and advertisers, how can we bolster our position and continue to deliver on high-performing campaign executions while respecting data privacy and ensuring we're following these new regulations? Cookieless advertising alternatives are a solution we're seeing coming up more and more often. And it's interesting to see how marketers are starting to gear up for this cookieless future. While some of us, about 56%, will continue encouraging and incentivizing our customers to share their data, others are working on creating new first and second party data sharing agreements with our partners to be more effectively able to reach these audiences. More than half of us, however, are investing in new technologies such as machine learning and AI. And ad tech has come a long way since the advent of the cookie. Methods such as contextual or keyword-based targeting are rising in popularity, providing the opportunity to reach audiences with relevant and tailored ad content with minimal personal data required. Instead of leaning on the types of data we can collect about our audiences, contextual advertising methods can be more nimble by responding in real time to a user's browsing and content consumption preferences. And we're still not even halfway through the year. Plenty of time for advertisers and ad tech to respond to these changes and release new technologies or new ways of using existing ones. Speaking of new technologies, this year we expect to see considerable progress in what machine learning and AI can do. Tech around us is already using this in ways we may not even be aware of. With the barrier to entry lowering every day, it will become a lot more prevalent. Advertisers may begin turning towards these tools to strengthen their campaign execution and more effectively reach audiences. And let's just say that it is truly fascinating what these tools can do. From Microsoft's investment into voice cloning and generation to entire video creation from just a few seed words, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Even the images used in ads now can be procedurally generated using artificial intelligence and tools such as Mid-Journey, DALL-E, and Stable Diffusion. OpenAI's ChatGPT has been in the news lately as a powerful machine learning tool that's blowing everyone's expectations out of the water. And that tech continues to evolve as OpenAI has started to pilot their ChatGPT Professional, a premium version of its virtual chatbot for use in commercial and retail applications. There's a good chance that the support rep that you're currently talking to is already a machine. In many ways, the future that the movies and the TV shows of the 80s and 90s predicted is arriving now, but that isn't without its risks. I mentioned earlier that incredibly powerful content generation tools like Mid-Journey have been put to use to create impressive images and concepts for a variety of uses. But as advertisers and marketers, we should be aware of the impact of this. So we've actually started to see some class action suits being filed against these very same tools for using the art of millions of artists to train and create new images from those existing styles. In some cases, content creators are relying too heavily on these tools without proper oversight or review to ensure accurate and appropriate content. Even on a platform and support level, we can enhance our self-service capabilities using AI chatbots as a real-time support. And the best part is that they never need to sleep. So we're likely to see a lot of news this year about exactly how these tools are developed and trained by actual real people to ensure they don't go rogue. Obviously, we're not talking Skynet style rise of the machines here, but if you're relying on AI to speak for your brand, you're probably going to want more oversight and control over this. Responsibly harnessing the power of AI allows us as an advertiser to move faster and more responsibly, using real-time predictive tools to create smarter, more targeted ads. Now, considering all of the limitations of the cookieless future and the solutions marketers and advertisers have developed to remain effective, the next few years in the global programmatic advertising spend market are still forecasted to see monumental growth of several hundred billions through to 2026. That's billions with a capital B. And with programmatic starting to become synonymous with performance, we expect ad spend to have strong growth into new channels such as audio, digital out of home, and in-game advertising. From the charts above, we can see already that while growth is still expected in the US, markets such as Australia are projecting monumental growth in both programmatic audio and video spends. There's a lot of opportunity here. So what should we watch out for this year channel-wise? Lou has some of the answers for you next.
Awesome, thanks, Chris. So starting here with the channels to watch, the first one that we wanted to cover is the shift in social media. 2022 was a newsworthy year in the social media space, whether it was hostile organizational takeovers, dozens of antitrust suits, or upcoming and changing legislation, social media as a whole has had a pretty turbulent 22, and that was drastically reflected in the bottom line of some of the major players, as Facebook posted for the first time in history audience numbers had declined. These turbulent times have continued into 2023, with Meta warning that Aussies could be charged to use Facebook and Instagram if the Attorney General's office proposed changes to the Privacy Act go ahead, and TikTok was recently banned on government devices as more social laws are considered. Major changes include allowing Aussies the ability to opt out of targeted ads, erase their data, and even sue for serious breaches of privacy, which, if passed, will seriously impact their ability to deliver advertising value to clients. These headlines, alongside increased recognition of potential downsides to social media, have led to 21% of consumers worldwide stating that they plan to spend less time on social platforms in the next 6 months. Moving on to what is consistently for the third year in a row has been the fastest growing channel, CTV. And when we talk about CTV, this is not just BVOD channels, but also apps accessed across smart TV and devices such as Lab Bible, Samsung TV, and Daily Mail, where more and more video inventory is becoming available. If you're not advertising on CTV, you're missing out on a substantial opportunity to reach your audience in a high impact, high attention environment. And recent statistics from Statistica claim that 76% of agencies will increase CTV ad spend in 2023. 17% of Oz agencies revealed that they will be moving spend from traditional TV budgets, and 41% of agencies will be investing less in linear TV. So this isn't going away, and it presents a the third channel to watch is gaming. So customers' rising interest in PC and VR presents a big opportunity for brands. And this has not gone unnoticed by technology platforms and media outlets who are actively working to incorporate gaming elements into their offering as an audience attraction and stickiness factor. In the video game market, the number of Oz users is expected to rise to 9.99 million users by 2027. User penetration will be 33.9% in 2023 and is expected to hit 36.4% by 2027. And the largest segment is mobile games with a market volume of 3.3 billion in 2023. And the third channel to watch that I want to cover here is retail. 2026 forecasts that a combination of traditional retailers and Amazon retailers will build a $2 billion retail market segment in the coming 5 years, according to the IMB. Currently, retail media is focused on search and display ads for retail-oriented advertisers. Search and display ads are the most used formats, although there is a high appetite to try in-store, point-of-sale, and off-site extension retail media options. Those advertisers and agencies currently participating in retail media are more likely to currently be FMCG, retail, health and beauty, and alcoholic beverage categories. But this is not the only category that it is relevant for. Shopping data gives retail media sites a big advantage over more traditional publishers and even newer social media apps and content sites that simply do not have as much data on their users, especially with the ongoing deprecation of third-party cookies as targeting and measurement technology within online campaigns. Many retailers and fulfillment companies are now introducing their own advertising opportunities. The top opportunity of partnering with retailers for over half of respondents is getting access to first-party data. 6 in 10 retail media claim retail media is a key part of their advertising strategy following the deprecation of cookies, and it will be important for retailers to build trust, transparency, and understanding of data value exchange with consumers to ensure the ongoing collection of data meets those requirements. I'll pass on to Krish.
Cool, thanks, Lou. So now, what is also clear in 2023 is that digital audio has a lot of growth in the tank. Digital audio advertising spend in Australia grew 13% to $51.9 million in the March quarter compared to the same 3 months last year. Podcast advertising surged by 20.7% to $19.8 million in the quarter, while streaming audio spend grew 8.8% to $32.1 million. Digital audio remains a powerful brand builder, with 7 in 10 agencies saying digital audio is effective at increasing brand awareness. Streaming music and radio are seen as highly effective reach extensions to broadcast radio, while podcasts are rated highly effective for accessing hard-to-reach audiences and increasing engagement. With these objectives in mind, 75% of media agencies now have streaming digital audio advertising as a regular part of their activity, while 70% of media agencies include podcast advertising as a regular part of their activity. This increases from 36% in 2020 and 59% in 2021. It's worth noting that agencies are still choosing to buy audio and advertising programmatically, with 82% of agencies intending to buy programmatic audio in the next year, up from 64% in the year prior. A few other things to cover, and this one really hits home for StackAdapt specifically, but with the resurgence of contextual advertising, we're also anticipating native ads making a strong push this year. Its editorial aesthetic and contextual relevance will in large part mitigate the loss of third-party cookies with more contextual targeting. Typically, native has a much stronger trust among consumers and will continue to drive strong on-site traffic and engagement. Finally, the most fascinating topic, in my opinion, through 2023 is the emergence of digital out-of-home. Out-of-home advertising has been around for around 200 years, and now our industry is starting to catch up. It's continuing its growth trajectory as more and more screens continue to begin offering programmatic buying, and with strong advances in tracking ability combined with more readily available inventory, it will entice more and more advertisers to expose users in different formats. Already, 83% of Australian agencies have used programmatic digital out-of-home, and 48% are considering using it regularly. Some of the major drivers of buying programmatic digital out-of-home in Oz have been called out amongst brands, advertisers, and agencies as the following: flexible buying options, contextual relevance of environment, data and targeting, and operational efficiency and enhanced reach. Now, the top 3 most used digital out-of-home ad formats are roadside billboards, other roadsides, i.e. street furniture, bus, train shelters, and finally retail, i.e. shopping centres. Alrighty, so moving on, let's talk about how to diversify and use these many different channels to our advantage when it comes to the campaign that we launch. Now, there's no better time than now to consider adding new advertising channels into your mix. With in-person shopping making a return in 2022 and growing further in 2023, being where your customers are will help ensure that you don't fall behind your competitors. A vast majority of consumers expect to be exposed to ads across their buying journey. So while a single channel may have worked in the past, the opportunity to reach your audience where they are and when they expect you to be lies ahead. Multi-channel doesn't mean everything all the time. It's about picking the right channels to deliver against parts of the funnel. This involves understanding your audience and your intended customers and ensuring that your brand is present where they are, not just where you want them to be. Your media planning this year should keep this in mind, and we're confident that you'll be on the right track to success with your campaigns. This year, our advice to you is to find a programmatic partner that is equipped to handle the new demands of the cookieless, privacy-first, machine learning, and AI-powered multi-channel programmatic advertising era. It's certainly a mouthful. At StackAdapt, we have put a focus on providing the solutions advertisers need, leveraging multi-channel advertising within a single platform, keeping your campaign learnings and data accessible in one place to benefit optimization and execution all throughout. As a leading DSP in the space, StackAdapt has developed incredible solutions for identity graphing and attribution, contextual advertising to survive the cookie apocalypse, and access to multi-channels within a single login. And we're just getting started. Now, let me pass it back to Lou to close this webinar out.
So thanks, Krish. So just to wrap this up, we've pulled out 3 key takeaways. The first is get ahead of the trends. Don't be afraid to test new channels, set clear objectives, and make sure that you've got a good measurement framework that enables you to measure the success. The second, we've been talking about it for years, well, 2+ years now, but get ready for the cookieless world. If you've not adjusted your strategy to shift towards cookieless environment solutions, now is the time, and testing and learning is crucial to success in that area. And the third is implement a cohesive multi-channel strategy. Don't forget to listen to the data and plan around across the funnel. Repeated exposures to your brand's content and message in multiple mediums can have a huge impact on their likelihood to convert or take action and engage. So that's everything from us for today. We will open the floor for questions.
Guys, does anyone have any questions? And so often the case is there's no question. So if anyone's got any questions, we can connect, put them in the chat, or we can connect them through afterwards. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Really interesting. Some big things in there, which even I learned a thing or two. So very, very, very good. Well done. And thank you for your partnership as well, StackAdapt. We really appreciate that. Just wrapping up everything, guys. Don't forget Brisbane event on the 20th of July. We're off to NT for a delegation of senior media leaders to see firsthand work there. Do the survey. If you haven't done the survey, please do the survey. Tell a friend to do the survey. And then the Academy Cinema 101's coming out in 1 week. There are little updates. Thank you guys for that presentation. Really, really useful. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll talk to everyone soon. See you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, little hands clapping there. There we go. Celebration of hands.